Since we're talking about,
Oops, sorry.
since we're talking about food, excuse me, I got hungry.
Oh, okay, as
So
a matter
I
of fact, I'm cooking I've got a pork butt on the smoker, and I'm putting some baked beans together so I can smoke those with a new recipe to see how it turns out.
Wow.
Ooh, you
I
shouldn't
like
have said that. Now
that.
Paul's gonna have to take a road trip today.
Come on down.
Oh, yeah. I should.
Yeah, we were laughing because I pinned his little Zoom calls, and normally he's like, "Where's the link?" Except he saw food, and he's like, "Oh, food! Yeah, I see that one."
I understand.
So, well, thanks for joining us, Greg. Glad you were available.
Oh, such a beautiful day outside. I just took the
Yeah.
dogs for a long walk. I'm cooking, and now I have nothing else to do, and I thought this is perfect.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
good.
Well, it worked out really good because apparently Brent is out in the field. He left his phone at home because I messaged him and Kelly responded. So he must have forgotten that we had this chat today, but that's okay.
Well, he's been out for, I think, a couple of days because I tried calling him several times. I think he's down in Delaware hunting, deer hunting.
Oh.
So
Oh, he is.
I'll just phone for a while. Must be driving him crazy.
I don't know. Well, thank you. So I did send you an invite yesterday to that other email address. So is that other email address not good anymore?
Yeah, that one, Upland Hunter, that's an old one. And the company has been bought out by so many people. This is the best one, gregmcneil5@gmail.com.
Okay, then I will resend you the invite because we invited you to a connection weekend in March. It's going to be a 3-day, 2 nights. We invite you to come in on a Friday, and then we'll have like dinner, have a campfire, all that kind of stuff. And then Saturday we spend all day out on the lake ice fishing.
Nice.
And then come back and do some stuff around the lodge. And then Sunday we have a gentleman from he was with IFNW, but now he's what is he, a trapper trainer? But he is big into turkey call making and turkey calling and all this kind of stuff. So we build turkey calls. He comes in and we do all this turkey stuff. So anyway, I'll send you that invite. I sent it to you and David and Brent. So we have a room reserved for you guys if the 3 of you, or if one of you can't come, somebody else can come in your place or whatever. But
Perfect.
be a good time. So Paul, you want to go ahead and say something?
What? Can I? No, like I said, talking about the 5th anniversary, July 9th. I know you and Brent do a lot of cooking together.
Yeah.
And also we have an auction in, what's the date, Angie?
April 30th.
April 30th. We're going to have an auction at the Elks Club in Bangor. So we're going to be getting some items. So we wanted to talk to you and Greg, if you're willing, you and Brent, if you're willing to cook for us during that auction that day.
Sure. I don't think we've got anything on the calendar, to be quite honest with you. And all we have to know from you guys would be how many people you want us to cook for. How do you want us to do it? Do you want us to bring the smoker? Do you want us to pre-cook it and bring it? There's a number of different things we can do, but and Brent and I talked about it a little bit, and he did tell me that about the anniversary and the auction. So This isn't a complete surprise. We did talk about it. Sure. And I think it would be a fun thing to do, to be quite honest with you. I think we can have a good time. So good. And we can cook pretty much anything you want. Our specialty is pulled pork, mainly because pulled pork right now is the cheapest meat out there.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I just bought 4 hams at 99 cents a pound. Wow. So it's coming down, and before the COVID and everything hit, I think it was around 85 cents a pound. So we use that as our menu, and then we have macaroni and cheese that we cook.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm practicing with some baked beans right now, barbecue baked beans, cornbread, jalapeno cornbread that we cook on the smoker as well. And then Brent makes, without question, the best friggin' whoopie pie you'll ever eat. It is-
We did have the luxury of tasting those. They are delicious.
Oh, they are very good. So that's our general thing. And in the past, what we've done is we've charged, when we did it for Sam, we did charge for the golf tournament, we charged $20 a plate. And that was for the whole kit and caboodle. And all of that money goes back into the Sportsman's Alliance of Maine veteran program.
Yes.
Brett and I, our time is, you're not paying for anything of our time. The grill's all taken care of. We've got the pellets all taken care of. It's basically just the food and any other condiments or like paper plates that we
Right.
may have to get, stuff like that, so that people can enjoy the meal.
Now, is it easier for you guys to bring the food or other than transporting everything?
Well, right now, I think, Paul, it would be easier for us to bring
Yeah.
the food,
Yeah.
mainly because we don't have a trailer to put our grills on.
Yeah, that
And to
makes sense.
transport all that stuff, and it makes it, what we do is we get there like at 5 a.m. and we start the grills going and we do that. If we bring it, what we probably do is we probably still bring the grills and fire those up so you get the smoke and all that, the smells. And we would reheat, put the meat on that and keep it warm and do it that way, where we're not cooking the pork butt from 0 to 90, if you will.
Now, we do, for the anniversary, we do have a pellet smoker that was donated to us. a big-
Nice.
So we will have that in a big grill now, a big stainless grill. that
Nice.
will
So
have-
maybe we should just pick one event to start with and just talk
Okay.
about it all the way through. I mean, do we want to start with talking about the auction? Because that's
auction,
the
I would-
smaller of the two.
The auction.
We're
Mhm.
thinking roughly, right now, we're shooting for 150 people-ish. We don't know what it's gonna be, but the lodge is plenty big enough if we wanted to have more, but that's kind of what our goal is as far as invitees.
Okay. Perfect.
So for that, like, that makes sense to me, the whole, approximately $20 a plate, pulled pork, baked beans. Is that the one, Paul? So we might have a couple pigs donated.
I'll talk to Bill Dureski you mean for the auction or for the,
Well, did it matter to him which one
I don't think so.
okay. Just because that like number, what, I don't know. Okay, so there's a question. If we had 2 pigs donated, we don't know how much they weigh, but like how much meat would that provide?
I'll
If you
have
had
to
2,
see- I'll have to see what size I can call Bill and find out.
yeah.
I would think one pig or 150 people, that's the most we've done so far is 70. And we had 4 hams, about 40 pounds of meat. And we had meat left over.
So
So-
one pig would, average pig would, even a 200-pound pig would.
Oh, I think that would be more than enough, really, Paul. that you could-
200 would probably be good. I know we did that pig roast here, and I think we had one that was 150 or 175 pounds or something. And I think it would have potentially served around 100. So if it was a 200-pound pig, that would be a good size for that,
Yeah.
I would think.
Okay.
I think that's a good starting point.
Would you want us to get that for the auction? To have it butchered or what's better?
Sure, if that's what you guys would like to do, and if you have the chance to get something, that makes it, we don't have to worry about going out and buying meat and all that type of stuff. And we don't really have a lot of space to store meat. But I think if you got a pig donated, we could work with that. We could work around that. And if we had it in time, we could pre-cook it or cook it here on your pellet stove and do all that stuff. And then the cost would be, for the, it really would. That would take a lot of the cost away because like I said, our time, we just enjoy doing it and enjoy meeting people. And if we get a chance to make a few bucks for the program, then we're there. That's the problem. Yep.
So
The
I'll
other-
talk to Bill then and find out.
The other thing I was thinking about was, I'm sure the Elks Club has all that food type stuff as far as preheating and if you brought it in, you know what I'm saying? Like the trays that open and shut, whatever. As far as keeping things warm, and I'll see what they have I'm sure because they put banquets on all the time, I'm sure they have all of
They
that
must have
stuff.
warmers and stuff.
Right.
Now, on the pig, if we get that and we get it butchered, how would you want it? Like, does it all need to be cut up, or would you want it, just bring quarters of it up and you guys
If you
slice
just
it?
bring like the butts, a normal pork butt with a shoulder, without, that's all you need is just that shoulder, and you cook it all as one item. So you got two shoulders, you got the hind ends. If they can just cook it, and if you tell them we're gonna smoke it, then I think they'll understand really the type of cuts that we would want.
Okay,
And if there's anything else like the tenderloin, those types of things, that's really good meat. And, you may want to save that for something, or we
Yeah.
could just come up with a recipe and cook the whole darn thing, and it'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, okay.
So we're thinking pulled pork, baked beans, just as a sample, a place to start with, jalapeno cornbread, whoopie pies. Otherwise, I know he said maybe you guys have done smoked mac and cheese or something like that, or I
Yeah,
don't know.
we-
We're totally open to whatever discussion.
That's what we
you
had
have.
at Sam's, wasn't it, Angie?
Yeah,
When we
Yeah,
went
we
to
had-
Sam's? Mhm.
Yeah, we had the mac and cheese. A lot of people like the mac and cheese
Yeah.
more than the beans, to be honest with you. So I would recommend, instead of baked beans, we could have some there for people that want it, because that's cheap. But we could have macaroni and cheese as the main,
Yeah, dish,
side dish. Yep.
do you have a veggie with that too then typically, like a corn or anything, or no?
We had corn on the cob when it was available in the summer. That's what we had for the Sam Volunteer Day. We had corn on the cob. So we could have, some corn. If
I'm
you
not
want-
saying we have to. I was just, it's my mom talking in me. Where's your
Yeah.
veggie?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you'd need to.
Yeah.
Really. You could, but
Yep,
Yeah,
if
corn on
you
the
got
cob
pork,
is-
your cornbread, mac and cheese, and your whoopie pie, that's a full meal. I mean, and the
Yeah.
intent is not to make it like a 5-course meal, because the auction, to tell you how that's gonna go down, is we are going to start out with the meal, like we're kind of thinking like between 5 and 6 for the meal. And then the auction, we have an auctioneer coming, Scott Hannington is gonna come and do the auctioneering, and from 6 to 8, and then from 8 to 9:30, Don, I don't know how to say his last name, Boudreau is
Boudreau.
Boudreaux.
oh, do you know him?
I know of him, yeah.
Okay, so he's coming to do his Elvis impersonation from 8 to 9:30. So
If
yeah,
you
so that's
wanna
the whole,
join
and then
him,
we'll also
Greg, you
have a
can.
silent auction. What?
I told Greg if he wants to join him, he can.
I'm good.
Me too.
So as far as the meal goes, we wanted it to be, casual, just like grab your stuff, mingle around, talk to people. We may
Yep.
even want to, we might even want to start that at 4:30, like
Okay.
4:30 to 6, because an hour is just not a lot of time when you're eating, and you also want people to have a chance to talk.
Yeah.
Although they'll have a chance to talk when the Elvis thing is going on too, so maybe not, but
And we've
We'll have
had
to
it
talk
two
about that.
different ways, Angie. When we did it at Sam, we didn't have any buns, so you could make a pulled pork sandwich. And then we had it with buns at the golf tournament, and not a lot of people took the bread. It was amazing, but they took the pulled pork, the
Yeah.
mac and cheese, and all that stuff, but the bread wasn't a big item. And
Yeah.
if we had coleslaw, maybe they'd have made a sandwich with coleslaw, pulled pork in the bread. But we kind of pulled away from the bread, but if you want us to make the sandwiches type thing, let us know. And
I don't think you'd need to.
I don't think so either, because we experienced the same thing when we had our pig roast here. Barely anybody took any of the bread. It was like, what? So they just ate it plain without the bun. I mean,
I
we
think
could just keep it simple.
The coleslaw, that would be your vegetables, Angie.
No,
That-
I was thinking that. I was like, let's do coleslaw. That sounds really good, and I'm really hungry right now. But
I
let's
love
skip.
coleslaw.
Let's do no bun, and we could add coleslaw. I mean, if that's reasonable.
coleslaw is so easy to
Yeah.
make, and it's really inexpensive, and it fills people up. It really
Yeah.
does. People like it.
Oh, that's great. That would be good.
Okay.
Sounds like a good menu.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So we'll say 20, I mean, do you think, and be honest, we don't want to take advantage of anybody here. So between pulled pork, jalapeno cornbread, mac and cheese, coleslaw, and whoopie pies, if we get the pig donated, do you think it's reasonable to estimate at about $20 a plate?
let me talk to Brent, because
Yep.
that's when we have to buy the pig. And I don't think it'd be that much, it might be 15. I don't know.
Sure.
But I
Yep.
want to talk to
It's a
Brent.
good place to
because
start with anyway. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll let him know that I threw the 20 out there, but with the, the things that are donated,
Yep.
we can make adjustments as necessary if appropriate. And we can go either way on that. So that'll be a good
Yeah.
thing. It's always nice when you get more stuff donated and all you got to do is put in the effort and time to get that. Really saves a lot.
Yeah.
And
for the end
honestly, like,
result.
where
Yeah.
do you guys get your other supplies? So for your mac and cheese and all that, is there a certain store or place that you guys do your shopping that I could reach out to
We-
and ask for?
We go to Sam's Club, Hannaford, Shaw's, and there are places that we go and they donate stuff to us for the Sam Veteran, like Operation Oil Flush. And we're doing a golf tournament this year. So they're very, very good to us. But if you guys approached them as House in the Woods, I'm sure that they would also do some things to help out as well.
Yeah, even if it's, because I can reach out to them on a monthly basis. It's not something because of time that I've had time to do is reach out to them monthly. But if it's particularly for an event, I should be able to reach out to all the local Walmarts, send them a letter and just see if they give us gift cards. Cause then you guys could use those to buy your supplies.
Yeah. And really they've been, Angie, Walmart and the grocery stores have been very, very good.
Particularly when they know it's an event, like it's a lot easier to say, okay, this event is going on.
Right.
Get all your paper products probably from them. And
Yeah.
I know Brent said that too with Sam's. He said usually he can go in and get whatever.
Well,
he asks for.
I know it's Shaw's in Bangor. He's done a lot of work with them and from the Bangor, when the Bangor Fire Department or the Veterans Program do things, he goes in and the manager goes around with a shopping cart and they just say, okay, what do you need? And we don't take advantage of it, but we've gotten everything from water to condiments to paper products, hot dogs, hamburgers, not a lot of expensive stuff back then.
Yeah.
Of course, now that it's a little bit different. They've been very good to us.
Good.
So I think
That's awesome.
that's a good way to go.
Okay,
Yep.
so then shifting gears a bit, and we have that whole day, so we can come in as early as we want and whatever, so.
Would it be better if we timed it for the pig so it wasn't frozen? Would it be
Yes.
easier? So if we
Yes.
time it, you could just put it, well, when is the date again, Angie? What's the day? For the,
April 30th.
so would you want it a day ahead of time? If we brought it down the day before, let's say? If
At
we could
least.
time it?
Yes, I think a day ahead of time, Paul, and that way we can, we can, if we're gonna do a rub on it, we can do a rub on it, let it sit 12 to 24 hours before we do the cooking. If we've got a place where we can keep it cool, in the, as we do the prep time,
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing, because we want to make sure that stuff stays, cold.
Yeah.
And then we take it out, we let it rest for about an hour before we put it on the grill to get the room temperature. And we'll do whatever else we got to do to it, get our grills fired up. And then we go ahead with the cooking process. So a good day before.
or a
would be
day or two, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then shifting gears to this 5th anniversary. So we have a lot of things going on that weekend, but we were kind of thinking for if you guys are interested in helping with the food on Saturday. So Saturday would be July 9th. And
Yeah. We
Okay.
would be interested in helping you guys. I'd have to look at the calendar, but I don't think we have anything planned for the 9th of July at this point. But then again, I don't know what I don't know.
I think because we have tossed it out to Brent before, so I don't think, I mean, it doesn't mean you don't
Yeah.
have anything going on, but he didn't
Right.
sound like he was busy.
July 9th, Jesus, that's a long ways away.
It seems like it, doesn't it? It seems like it.
It'll be here before you know it. though.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Nope, July-
Brent is just coming in right now.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be in
Yeah.
just a second.
Okay.
So July 9th is good for me. We don't
Okay.
have anything on the official calendar. Hey, Brent,
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
Should
Good.
we say hey? Should we say hey?
yeah, hey,
Uh,
So just to recap you, we were actually just moving on to the 5th anniversary, but your time, we have nothing to do, Brent. You can listen
Right.
to this recording. But we kind of decided on, Paul thinks that we may have a pig that we can have donated and do a pulled pork without a bun, jalapeno cornbread, mac and cheese, coleslaw, and some famous whoopie pies from some unknown man that
all right. Sounds
really
good.
delicious. So yeah, so we can talk more about that. But so we're approximately 150 people. We have the place for the whole day, but it sounds like the preference would be potentially to cook it elsewhere ahead of time and then just bring it in, if that's the way I understand it.
Yeah, I think we could probably do that. What time is the event?
So the food, we were thinking a meal either starting at 4:30 or 5 till 6. So giving people probably an hour. You don't want anybody getting loosey goosey. So
I-
probably 5 to 6.
Yeah, well,
And-
if we got 150 people going through the line,
Then maybe we
you
have to
might
make
want
an
to
hour.
start at 4:30 maybe.
Yeah.
What do you
Let's plan
guys
on
think?
4.
I would say 4:30, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Whatever works for you, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I think so too.
4:30.
If the auction's gonna start right at 6, if you
Yeah.
gotlatecomers and they come in just, if that way,
Right.
if you start at 4:30, they'll show up by 5.
Right,
And that's how that goes.
Yeah.
So then from 6 to 8, it's the auction. And then from 8 till 9:30, it's the Elvis impersonator. And Greg's the backup, just in case the guy doesn't show. Greg
Oh,
has volunteered
perfect.
to sing.
Nice.
we saw some of his moves, he's pretty good.
yeah, we'll have a broken hip before the night's over.
So then we were kind of shifting gears and gonna jump in and talk about the 5th anniversary. Literally, we just started. So there's gonna be a lot of things going on that day. But and then also number wise, so we have like an artist coming, we have some entertainment people coming. We're gonna have a hero, which is another veteran supporting organization down south. They're starting their own what is it,
Label.
music label.
Mhm.
So they're coming with their whole group and gonna be doing some singing and entertainment in the evening. We were trying to find a sweet spot of a time, Paul. I don't know if we decided on that, what time would be good to serve. So a couple of factors here. Saturday is gonna be the biggest day for people to come. Sunday is gonna be a big day too because of some other things that we're doing, but it's gonna be more focused on like Gold Star Family on Sunday. And we're working with the Summit Project and the Woody Williams Foundation for Sunday. And that'll be a separate barbecue that they want to help put on that day. So the focus will be Saturday as far as this meal is concerned. And number wise, we're really not certain what that number might look like. It, because of all the people that we're inviting and because of the visibility. I mean, I don't know. We really just don't know.
Could be 1,000, could be 1,500. We had open house 5 years ago. July 9th will be. We had 600 people at our open house. So who knows? We could double that, we could triple that. But I'm thinking with the food, if we had like snacky stuff and have something in between lunch and supper time. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out. What do you guys think if we're gonna do food? I mean, what do you think? Or you think we should have it in the middle of the day or the end of the day?
I
Me-
think if you're gonna have a meal, probably towards the end of the day would be easier because we would need the day before and all day to prep for that many people. It would, if we're gonna cook,
Cause, yeah, cause people are gonna be coming in, leaving, new people come in, so it's gonna be a hard one to gauge.
I kind of
would-
feel like, hey, and actually, this is something that Brent had suggested another time. How maybe we do like a big pancake brunch
yeah,
and then do the late dinner. I don't want to see us doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That would be way too much.
No.
So what if we did like a breakfast, lunch, and not necessarily you guys, Brent and Greg, you guys will be focused on the dinner part. The pancake breakfast kind of stuff, Paul and I and some other volunteers, we could do something like that. But that way it's inexpensive. It's something like, it's a good family thing, they can
Right.
take it and go. So I don't know if we do something like that around, I don't know what time you would do that, like 9 or,
So what
and then
time,
do dinner later on. I don't know. It's just an idea.
what time does the day start?
Well, it's probably going to start fairly early because of all of the events that we have planned for that day. Lots of speakers. We've got an artist coming. Like I said, we have all those entertainers.
You
I don't
thinking
know
8
what-
o'clock?
8 o'clock
Yeah.
is a good place to start. Like it's a good,
Between 8 and
Yeah.
9, either 8 or 9.
yeah, I would think it's going to have to be on the earlier side, probably 8. Yeah.
So you're gonna start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 8 o'clock, you're gonna have something to kick it off. People start coming in. You're gonna have speakers throughout the day. You're gonna have entertainment venues throughout the day. So there's gonna be a lot of things going on. And, I don't know, Brent, if it just in here, but it's almost like you wanna have the food available for them to eat during the course of the day. So if they're going to an event, they want to pick up a plate of, whatever, then they can do that and go to the event and, sit there and still, because it sounds like a majority of your time is going to be with, the meal isn't the key. The meal is to feed people while they're there and they're going to these events. And it's more or less a buffet type of thing where they come in, they can get some pulled pork, they can get this,
Yes.
they can go to an event and listen to a speaker or
Yeah.
somebody entertain.
Yes.
And if that's what you're looking to do, the pancake thing that's pretty easy actually, but we could maybe have something that we could have a buffet type thing from a time throughout the course of the day until the food is gone. Because 1,000 people, I mean, there's no
Well,
way
that's-
to have a sit-down meal for 1,000 people.
Yeah, no, I like that idea too, because
Yeah.
people are going to be coming and going all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
That is good, a good idea. No.
so, are you thinking that we would want to plan for 1,000 people to have pulled pork throughout the day, or are you thinking half that crowd for the afternoon? What are you thinking?
And I'm sure Paul is probably thinking I think it's going to be all of that. Yeah, I think it's going to be all of that. I mean,
I think we need to have other foods like chips and dip and all kinds of stuff, pickles and, maybe finger sandwiches kicking around. You know what I'm saying? You have something available.
so
Yeah,
what
yeah.
if we set something up in the great room as far as, like a buffet style run, like a U-shaped thing where it's got all the stuff and we're just filling it all day long.
And someone, yeah, I think so. And someone we need to add to this, if she can help, is Jessica.
Yes.
So she
Yep.
helped, she organized our open house, there was 600 people, and she had it laid out perfect. I
Yeah.
mean, there's tons of food. So we can add to what you guys are gonna make, the pulled pork, and have something for each stage of the day or all day long.
So what's
a
my
good idea.
budget on that, Paul?
whatever we need. We haven't come to that, but whatever we need.
We really don't have a budget. Our plan was to make it free for everyone, so we're gonna, keep it as low as we can.
Right,
Um,
but we'll put the money up,
mhm.
obviously. You don't have to worry about the money to purchase the food. And I'll see if I can get a second pig donated too.
So will that pig be all processed and put into like the pork butts and roast and ribs, or?
Yeah, we can have that done. I'm gonna talk to Bill Dureski. It's his sister that has the pigs. He's a guy that helps us guide the dog bear hunts.
Yeah,
And we were just up there the other day and I see a couple of our hogs out there, so. We can have a processor do whatever you guys want for cuts. We'll
So-
just have them process it. And I was talking to Greg earlier about if we wanted it a day or 2 days before, so it's not frozen,
right.
we could arrange it for that too.
But
Because for like this many people, I was looking at pork butts the other day, and actually Greg's wife sent me a text. They go on sale for 99 cents a pound sometimes.
Mhm.
And they are a manageable size piece of meat to, like, if we're gonna feed 500 people, we're probably gonna need like, wow, I mean, we would need 300 pounds to 400 pounds of meat if you want to have it available for everybody.
Yeah, so let's say 500 pounds of meat, we'll buy it.
Yeah, at 99 cents a pound, Paul, it's a value, because
Yeah.
then each piece weighs between 6 and 9 pounds, and
Okay.
we can plan on having them on the smokers at certain times so that we can have stuff coming off constantly. To get a full pig, the
If
pieces
if it's easier just to buy it, then we'll buy it.
I think if you could get pigs donated for something else, I think
Okay. Yeah.
buying it at 99 cents a pound. Greg, what do you think?
That's pretty cheap.
Well, I agree. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Brent, we talked about the cuts, and what I told Paul and Angie was that as long as the cuts were done for, so that we could put it on and smoke it, the shoulders, the butts, the ribs. But, in looking back on it, at 99 cents a pound, you might be able to call Hannaford or Shaw's and just say, hey, we're looking to buy X number of pounds for House in the Woods, for a special event, an anniversary event for their program. You might be able to get it a little bit cheaper than.
They might donate a good portion of it too.
They might. And my friend Brian is the head meat cutter at Shaw's in Bangor, and he donates a ton of stuff for us. If I told him that we needed, 5 cases of pork butts, and the buzzword I like to use is cost share. So cost share leads into donations, but if they know you're willing to put some money up, then typically they'll really go, good for us.
Yeah, we'll put the money, we'll buy it. I mean, that's not a problem. We'll take care of that.
Because, I mean, the pulled pork, you can freeze it.
Yeah.
If we have stuff left over, you could freeze it, and then when you have a 10-person retreat, pull a tray out of the freezer and serve it. I'm not sure what your food licensing. Do you have licensing for food? Are you?
No, we don't have to. No, because we don't charge. That's why we don't charge.
Perfect.
So at
So
the end of the
that
day,
takes care of us, Greg.
yeah, well, yeah, it does. And at the end of the day, it's really nice, because what can be done is that if you do buy them, the prepared ones from the grocery store, then you do have that option, and we could have them, ready to go, and we could have them so that we put them on the grill the minute the other ones come off, and we could have it a good assembly line going. But if you don't use them, then they're all prepared, they're all packaged.
Yep.
All you gotta do is put them in the freezer, and that takes a lot of the waste away, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you.
Well,
We
let's do
waste-
that. Let's do
We
that.
waste a lot of food, Paul. when we cook for these big events, we waste a lot of food.
Yeah.
And I don't mean we waste it and throw it away, but we usually make sure that nobody's hungry. That's
Right.
our goal.
Yeah.
So
So-
we usually have pans of stuff left over, you know, whoopie pies left over and those sort of things.
Well,
And
if-
we had, at one place, we auctioned off what was left over.
Yeah.
You know, if people wanted to buy pulled pork, they could bid on a pan of pulled pork or a pan of whoopie pies.
Would it
we-
be unreasonable to say we'll do have pancake breakfast available until 1 and then after 1 do the pork meal or something like that?
Yeah. So it takes 12 hours to prepare a pork butt. So if we have an RSVP or an idea sometime in April or March, what we're gonna need, then we'll have the smokers there to smoke that much meat. Because we're gonna need 12 hours of prep time. So I'll start
Yeah.
smoking that stuff at like, if you're gonna go for 1 o'clock, then I'll be there at midnight putting stuff on the smokers.
I mean,
Um,
does that sound like a good idea? I mean, I'm glad you brought it up, Greg. Like that is the point. We're gonna have people coming and going all day long. No
Yeah.
one's gonna be sticking around for the most part. You'll have some that will be there all day, but for the most part, people are gonna be coming and going all the time.
And if you have snacks and stuff there, that's gonna work because people are talking and hanging out and walking around. And I think we're gonna have a Dowland's ice cream truck there that day too, aren't we? I think.
Yes.
So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, as
So
far as
I
we
think-
know. Yeah.
The
So for
question I
that-
have- Yeah.
For that, if you were looking at 500 or 600 people for that evening, for that afternoon, say that afternoon/evening with the entertainment, I expect we'll have more people towards evening once they know what the schedule looks like. What kind of sides would you guys also be would be manageable? I guess realistically, like what kind of foods are you thinking would be reasonable for that kind of numbers,
Well, I'd have to look at the kitchen to see, so that we're not overlapping with what other people are doing, because the macaroni and cheese we make is pretty cheap to build. But we would need lots of oven space to cook it.
We're not gonna have anybody in the kitchen. Anything else, like Paul's saying, would be like snacky food, like aside from, you guys will have the run of the kitchen. The whole pancake thing, we're gonna have to make those ahead of time, put them in the cooker, just have them available. We're not gonna be making pancakes that morning.
Okay. Okay. So I don't remember the oven system. Do you remember what it is, Angie, there?
2 double
Paul, you can-
ovens. We have 2 ovens.
Are they 36 inch?
Boy, I don't know if they're that long.
Okay. They're commercial, correct?
They're commercial.
They are commercial,
They're the
yes.
standard one that you find in lodges, like Elks Lodge and
Okay,
They're
perfect. So
standard.
they're 36 inch then.
probably.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
here's an idea. If you need a little more time on the backside, you don't want to do it right at 1. I mean, like you said, we're gonna have the ice cream truck there. Maybe we'll have something else available in the interim. We don't have to have food on top of food per se, like major meal. Do you do pancake breakfast available till 1 and then the ice cream truck's gonna be there? And maybe some other snacky type foods that are just out. Maybe we can get a bunch of stuff donated, who knows, from Frito-Lay or, you know what I mean? Just have some kind of
Right.
snack bar.
I
And then
think that's all
whatever
you
your,
should have.
and
yeah.
then your dinner starts at whatever time you guys want it to be.
Right. Well, we can, if you want to put pulled pork out constantly from 1 o'clock forward, we can make that happen. If you want some sides, of that macaroni and cheese. Greg, what was our budget for the 125 people we cooked for the golf course?
It ended up being $20 a meal, so.
But what-
I think
What was our cost? Do you remember?
I want to say around $2,200, $22,000, something like that.
That's what we had invested in food?
Yeah.
Okay,
But if your pork is only,
99 cents. Yeah, I was thinking I was
Oh.
thinking when we charge $20 per plate,
You're right,
that's the money that we made.
right. You're right. you're right.
So I'm thinking of what is the net cost on, I don't think we had over $500 or $600 in that.
We didn't. You're right. We were looking at what we were gonna make on that as our profit margin. And we were somewhere between $500 and $800 for the
Yes,
food.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
So Paul, that was full meals, all anybody could eat, with the macaroni and cheese, the whoopie pies, and the pulled pork and the cornbread.
Yep.
So,
Well, yeah. Well, let's say you got 500 people, let's just say.
Yep.
And you got 500 pounds of pork. They're
Yep.
not gonna eat a pound. Right?
no, you need to figure a half pound per person.
A half a pound, okay, so that
Yeah.
would potentially feed 1,000 people, and then you're gonna have all the other stuff, so
Yeah.
that would be plenty. I think that would be plenty.
So
Yeah.
Angie, on the schedule for the event for the day, do you have a lot of events in the afternoon that people are gonna wanna see? So are you trying to space it out so that, you may have the Elvis impersonator coming in the evening, if you will, or you're gonna end it with that, but you're gonna have, speakers and different events going on throughout the day.
Yes.
Do you think that there's a certain time frame of events where you'll have more people coming just because of the event that's being done? Like, I don't know, turkey calling or somebody speaking, a celebrity that's gonna be there, that's gonna be a draw, so that we can say, well, a majority of the 1,000 people that you were expecting, a majority of them are gonna be there in the afternoon, 500 to 600 people in the afternoon because of what you're offering.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to better identify that in the coming weeks as we iron out what that schedule looks like, because we're still puzzle piecing it together. However, I would say we're not having any like major things at 8 in the morning. I mean, people
No.
are gonna trickle in, they'll be doing tours. We're gonna have things going on. We're potentially gonna have like a veteran art show, like stuff like that.
Angie, I don't know if I want to, okay to mention it, but we're working on a flyover, right? So
Nice.
if that does happen, I assume that's when a lot of people are gonna be there.
Well,
Just,
that,
yeah.
and there's like with the helicopter association guy we were
Yeah.
talking to the other day. So some of that isn't completely ironed out yet, but
We don't
there's
know.
potentially some big stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
that,
And even artists singing, we're working on, some of that. So until we know 100%, we won't. But if we do, we'll know when the majority of the people are gonna be there.
and when we have the schedule ironed out, you guys will be the first ones to see it. Then we'll be able to better say, okay, based on this, like we're trying to get feedback on Facebook. We're not doing RSVP. However, I use that loosely. Whatever I literally just posted it for the first time, really. We haven't done any sort of posting about it because of the end of the year campaign and stuff, but I'm putting like little triggers in there that are like, hey, send us an email if you're planning on coming. And all of a sudden, it's going to grow and grow and grow. People are going to start responding more. I've got the Facebook event out there. We'll get a rough idea, of about how many are planning to come, and also groups. So we're going to be inviting all the BFWs, the American Legions, all, those type of groups too. So it'll be, we'll start to get messages that say, hey, we're going to have a busload that's going to come up, or we're going to have whatever. We'll start to be able to gauge, as like you said, like as we get into the March, April timeframe, I think we'll be able to better understand what type of numbers we're working with.
We're gonna try to get the color guard in there, for example, someone to sing the national anthem to kick it off. So
Yeah.
Those are moving parts that we're trying to get
Yeah.
in stone. And
You
then
know,
we'll
it'd be
know
nice-
better the
It'd be
schedule.
nice if you guys could somehow get some of the VFW, the veteran homes, some of those guys to come and just observe some of that stuff as well, because
Yeah.
that would be awesome for the young veterans coming, and for them, because, not for them, the folks that have gone before us, if you will, that are in those homes sitting there, wanting to do something. It sounds like this would be an awesome event for some of those more mobile ones or whoever. And if you need help on that, I'd be more than happy to help in some way
Yep.
to kind of this company, whether we get the Bureau of Veteran Services to identify some folks that could come and just observe. They're not gonna be able to do a lot, but by golly, I'll bet they'd have a great time.
Cause a lot of
Exact-
it depending on the weather, you know?
Yeah.
And there's gonna be so much opportunity for people to just go out and sit. We're gonna have the pavilion. I mean, elderly folks can, whoops, hold on. Can bring a chair and sit out in the lawn, you know, and just take it all in. If it's a beautiful day, it'll be a great day for people just to relax and listen. And there's gonna be a lot of moving parts going on, so.
So
Yeah.
how
But yeah,
soon-
no, I like that idea. And I do have the contact for the main veterans homes that I've been messaging with a little bit. So I'll make sure and get him in the loop and just give him a far enough heads up that, you know, plan for some busing or whatever that involves.
So they all have, like, I worked with the Bangor VA clinic there in their home. They have their own van. So they, you
Mhm.
know, it's actually, it's more like a van with a school bus box on the back that would transport like 20 people.
Yes.
Yeah, they have that right there at their facility. So,
That's
And
awesome.
We need to make sure we tell people, bring your own chair, because
Yeah.
yeah,
people are gonna be, that's spread the word if you talk to people, so.
Bring your own chair and no alcohol.
Yeah.
exactly.
Bring your chair, leave your booze in the fridge.
Yeah.
You know, there's a veteran up in Fort Kent. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but he was stationed with Elvis over in Germany.
Really?
And-
What? Really?
Yeah, he's got pictures of himself with Elvis Presley when he was in Germany. He was just a short shit. And
Wow.
I'll remember his name at some point, but he talks about that a lot. So having an Elvis impersonator would be
My
Yeah,
father,
actually, for the 5th anniversary, he's not available, but he's singing at the auction. I
Oh.
hadn't even asked him, but he responded back to my invite to the anniversary and he's like, oh, darn it, I'm already busy that weekend. So we weren't gonna ask him for both because we have so many entertainers that are already coming for Saturday.
nice.
But yeah,
So-
it would be nice to get somebody. I'm gonna try to drum up and think about somebody for Sunday. Unless the Hero guys are gonna stay through Sunday, maybe they'll perform for the Gold Star Family Day too.
Yeah, that would be, so what they do, what they're gonna do, I guess for us is, I don't know if they asked me or a Gold Star Family, they may ask me, talk about my son and a little bit about him, and they'll write a song, right, Angie?
Yeah,
About-
so at they
Based
have
on
a
the
special group they call a hero something or another.
Yeah.
And they have like some really good musicians. One of them, the piano player is actually a songwriter and part of the band for George Strait. I think it's George Strait.
Yeah, we
Um,
met him down there. Yeah.
And then a couple other really fantastic musicians, bunch of veterans and stuff. So they pick someone at every event. They meet with the person, they hear about the person's loved one or whatever the story is. It might be them, might be a loved one.
Yeah.
They hear about it in the morning. They spend all day writing the song and then they perform it for the first time in front of everybody for the person that they wrote it for. So, yeah, so I think Lee had mentioned to Paul one time that he had wanted to do that for him. And so when I invited him to come and play here, he's like, that would be the perfect time to do the song about Joel and see. But yeah, so I don't know if they're feeling like super ambitious and they stick around, maybe they could do it on Sunday too, but I
Tell
won't
them
hold them
about-
to that.
Tell them about the artist a little bit that's coming.
Kevin Champney. So I don't know if you guys have seen this picture before, but so Kevin Champney is an artist from New York that he makes all these little, oh, what do you call it?
Diecast soldiers.
Die-cast things. So he's gonna make a piece of art, say, you know, and in this case, he had made an American flag. Well, he had made like a 45,000 die-cast soldiers, and then he used those to make this American flag. So it looks pretty big, maybe like 3 by 5 feet wide and tall. And it's 45,000 soldiers. So this picture has been floating around for so I see it pop up every once in a while. And I'm like, I'm gonna send him a message. So last year, spring, I think, I was just sending him a voice message on Facebook just to say, wow, I'm really impressed by your work. Just thank you for everything you do, blah, blah, blah. And while I'm leaving the message, I thought I should just invite him to come to the anniversary. So I leave this message thinking, well, of course, he's not going to message back. because I leave a lot of messages. But so then I get a message from his partner that said, hey, Kevin passed your message along to me. I want to hear more about this. Let's have a conversation. So we hopped on the call and so he's like, well, what's going on? You know, kind of scoping it out. He's like, well, what in your wildest dreams, if money wasn't an issue, what would you want? And I was like, well, money wasn't an issue. I'm like, well, we've been talking about wanting something in the lodge that was one of a kind that would draw people from all over the place. You know, because we're kind of off in the boonies out there, like what's going to draw someone to that area? And so I said, it'd be nice to have one of a kind piece that he would do for us and donate it. And we would have it in the lodge to stay there, and it would draw people to come and see it, have them be part of the anniversary celebration, invite his family, you know, so on and so forth. So then as we got a little more through the conversation, the guy was like, I really like this. He's like, I really like this. I know a bunch of people that have, you know, our big military families. Kevin's father is a veteran. I don't know of what, maybe World War II. I'm not sure. But he said, let me talk to him and I'll get back to you. So it was probably a month or so. And then he came back and he was like, yep, Kevin's interested. Well, first of all, he said, you do know that his art goes for between $30,000 and $50,000. And I said, yeah, I assumed it was probably pretty expensive. He's like, yeah, so I just want to make sure that you're not planning on giving this away at a silent auction or something. I'm like, no, like this would stay in the lodge, you know, permanently. So we sent him a picture of the wall that we have space for. We don't know what size it will be. We don't know what it's going to be at all, but patriotic in theme, I would imagine. So anyway, Kevin had gotten back to the partner and said, yeah, the partner said he's absolutely interested. They're very, very patriotic. His dad's a veteran. So they're going to come. The dad will come. So there will be something. I don't know what it is. I don't know how we're going to showcase that, but that's anyone who is from the coast who is a fan of his work too. That will bring a different crowd that isn't familiar with us as well. So yeah, so that, and then on Sunday, we connected a little while back with the Woody Williams Foundation, and Woody Williams is the last, well, what honor did he get?
Yeah, he got a bunch of.
He's the last, like, World War II Medal of Honor. That's it. He's the last living Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. He's like 95, 96, whatever. So they do these Gold Star Family Memorial or Gold Star memorials throughout the country, all different places, but it's a ginormous memorial, beautiful. We saw one in New Hampshire when we were there, and you know, thought that would be a great thing to have at the lodge because it, you know, it memorializes or honors where we started, you know, where the mission even started, and Gold Star families in general. We work a lot with veterans and some with Gold Star families, but it would be really nice. And we've been planning on wanting to make memorials and stuff out, you know, somewhere out in the field in a garden. So we connected with them. There isn't a Gold Star family memorial in Maine anywhere. So they were really excited about the idea. They liked our timeline. We had the conversation yesterday. So we basically signed on yesterday, and Sunday during the Gold Star kind of events that we have going on, we're going to do a groundbreaking with the Woody Williams Foundation for that memorial. So that will be cool for that day.
Nice.
So anyway, lots of things going on. So yeah, so we're trying to piece together what the timing makes sense, what goes together. We also have the guy coming who wrote the House in the Woods song, Rich Cutliff. Yeah. He's going to be coming. So that'll be kind of an afternoon before the entertainment kind of thing. We'll have him sing the song and hopefully have a couple veterans come and do, you know, speak a little bit, like not long speakers, just a few, like, this is my experience, you know, this is why it's valuable, that kind of thing. Maybe have some volunteers, some sponsors speak or something.
I don't think they've heard the song, have they? You guys probably haven't heard the House in the Woods song.
I looked it up.
On so you have. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been using it. I had someone redo it because the only recording that we had, it'll be a great opportunity to re-record him singing it. The only video I had of him was at a banquet, so the sound was real bad. I had one of my friends from from down south
That's cool.
re-sing it. So I've been using it for some of the Facebook videos and the YouTube videos. So you might have heard a little bit of it on there, but so yeah,
Yeah.
so as we piece that together, we'll keep food in mind with regards to what's going to bring people where we maybe need a gap, have someone doing a little singing, or something or nothing. We don't always have to have entertainment, when food's going on and stuff. I don't know. We just gotta.
Well,
keep it together.
there's a guy from Millinocket that I heard at the Elks Lodge when I went up, I think November. Older guy, but he sings solo. He plays guitar. He's a good singer, good guitar player. And we may ask him to come. He'd be a guy, just out there singing for an hour and a half. He does a great job. So
That's what, in my mind, during the food, like the
Yeah.
initial when food is coming out, like it's nice to have some music, but not like a full on
no,
band, just a little bit of something in the background is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So,
So I was thinking if we do 500 pounds of pulled pork and we're doing that on day one, I mean, if there's anything left over, we can certainly serve it on day two with other stuff as well.
mhm.
As
Yeah.
you could put it out with your other food for the following day. So
Mhm.
I think that's a good idea to go with the 500 pounds. Plus, I've never cooked 500 pounds of pork and I kind of would like to do that.
yeah.
Greg's
So,
like,
Angie-
what? Oh, why do you
Oh,
want?
Angie, tell them too about the motorcycle. We had a motorcycle donated. It's used, but the guys are polishing it up. And I think it's a 700 or 750. It's not a Harley, but it's going to be, I think we're selling raffle tickets that day too, right?
Yeah, well, as soon as it should be done pretty soon. They had reached
Yeah.
out to us just before Christmas. Oh, maybe November, whatever, early December, but had said, hey, we got this motorcycle that I don't know if somebody donated to them or whatever. It's a really cool motorcycle. But they said they do all their own work on their cycles. So they said if we were interested, they would clean out the tank, get it all, redone, I guess, essentially, polish it all up. And then do a new paint job on it, on the tank and stuff, and wanted to know if we were interested in having it as an item to auction. And I'm like, we work with so many motorcycle groups. There's so many motorcycle groups that we don't even work with, that this would be a great opportunity to reach out to them and say, we've got this patriotic painted motorcycle. It's going to have the House in the Woods logo on it. It's just going to be a super unique, cool piece. So that will be there. We're actually going to pull the ticket during the event. I'm glad you brought that up. I have a note somewhere.
Well,
about
that's
that.
another thing. We could have anywhere from 100 to 200 motorcycles come riding in too.
Because one group will have 30, 40 motorcycles. We got to talk about parking across the street. That's what we have to talk about.
Well, we got the field too. Well, if we do a flyover, we got the field is a possibility, but.
Well, they're not landing in our field, so we'll be
No, I
okay with
know,
the
but I'm
flyover.
saying- That's why I'm saying they could park in the field as a.
We'll have to flag off a part where people can go in so that it's
Yeah,
designated
Right.
as parking, because if people go sit in the field too, so
right.
it's gonna be a big time.
You got the whole
Time is
length
this?
of Skunk Hill Road they can park on.
How long a day is it on Saturday? It sounds like with all the stuff going on, you're gonna be going until midnight.
Well, it could. We hope not.
I think what time
Oh.
did that music start, Paul, when we did Hero? What time did their music start? I want to say it was just after dinner, maybe 6:30.
Yeah, something like that, the music and talking and the music, yeah, and it went for a couple hours.
So probably
Pretty
7:30,
bad.
8:30, right? Like plan to be done singing and done entertaining by like
Well,
9.
Here's another thing we've talked about, whether we'll do it, is a light show also. Whether we'll have it set up or not, we don't know. I thought of fireworks, that's too dangerous, so.
We decided we just got that land donated across the street. We don't need to burn it down.
So that's just another thought. We may not do it, but it's another thing that would draw people in for the evening, just as it turns dark, do a light show. If we can pull it off, we don't know.
So here's a thought. If we really pull off the flyover, it's kind of a long shot, but I'm still planning on it. if we pull that off for Saturday, maybe we do the light show on Sunday, because we really want to find a way to bring people in both days. You know what I mean? Like, we want to make Sunday as, as good of a day too. So
Yeah, but
I thought,
most people, yeah, you might be able to. I think
So-
Saturday night's gonna be a big night. You could do the late show Sunday night.
we'll get up early and we can just do it Sunday morning.
Good luck. Let me know how it works out.
Paul, are
Yeah, yeah. No,
are
I
you-
do like that idea. So yeah, so we're kind of tossing around a lot of different things, just trying to explore, unique ways to do things, but not spend $1 million. Like, it's not, we don't have a budget. We're not limiting ourselves, because the reality is our plan was, if we got the lodge paid off before the celebration, that we were just going to make it as good as we possibly can as a way to thank everybody, because so many people are involved, and it's for so many people. We don't really want to limit it. And we're blessed financially right at this today that we do have a little bit of money to put towards it. So yeah.
We want it to be a memorable occasion because of what's being done. It's helping the veterans. We want that to stand out to people that have never heard, of what goes on. There are a lot of great organizations in the country, but we want to transfer that to people. This means so much to the veterans and to their families, and we want to make it spectacular. Not to say we want to be better than someone else. We want to make it memorable for that reason.
Now, Paul, will people be staying in the lodge the night before?
There'll be guests there. Yeah.
Okay.
If you-
I anticipate that the rooms will be full. However, that being said, would you guys want to stay that night
We-
or
we
that
have
weekend?
to.
Would you want a room?
At least Friday night, because we're gonna have to put the pork butts in at midnight on Friday or 1 o'clock in the morning on
Yeah.
Saturday. So we'll be cooking all night long.
Or you could stay Saturday night too. I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah, if I put you in a room, it's basically your room for the weekend, because we're not gonna have cleaning services to come and swap bed
Yeah.
sheets and stuff. So I'll go ahead and just put you in.
you can be like Angie and sleep in the water room there during
Well, I
bears.
don't care where I sleep.
No, I'm just kidding. We won't put you. there.
We were laughing because last year when I came during the bear retreat, I got the apartment. It was like cozy. I was never in there because I was out in the woods. But then this year we were so full. I set up a cot down in the emergency water room with like 70,000 gallons of water. So
6,000 gallons of water.
I was like, wow, I really moved up in the world here.
I'll take a bunk in the archery range is fine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No, we'll have
No,
you in a real
I'll
bed.
put a room, and then Greg, you, and if I gotta see which room it is. It might have 3 beds or it might have 4 beds. So you're welcome to have someone else stay. And we can put more cots up too. If you have more people that want to stay, we can line up some more cots. So
No, I think we'll be taken care of just fine, to be quite honest with you. And I'm not sure how much sleep we'll be getting, but once we get it all prepared and started, it's a hurry up and wait type of thing.
Now,
Yeah.
can you guys use the smoker we have, or you've got enough capacity, or what?
I have to
Well-
run downstairs real quick. I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
We're gonna need all smokers on deck. 500 pounds of meat's a lot.
Okay, well, we have that new one.
Yeah.
And
we
Sean,
have-
he has one. I know. I'm sure he'd bring it down. but-
Does
We
it-
have,
Do
we
they all
have one-
require pellets?
Yeah, ours is pellets. Yep, it's
Perfect.
a pellet smoker. It's still in the box.
Okay.
Nice.
Taking it out yet.
So we have one smoker right now. I think we're gonna have a second one before that event, because I believe that Harvey RV is gonna get Traeger to donate one to us.
Yeah.
And then I have access to his 3 or 4 Traeger grills as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have plenty of smokers there, and plus your smoker, I think I can put on our big smoker. I can't remember if I can get 4 pans in there or 6. I can't remember.
I think it was 4, Brent, we got in there.
Yeah.
We put 2 on the top on the top rack.
Yeah,
And we
So-
could put them smokers if you want in the new pavilion. So if it's hot, you guys aren't standing out.
yeah, because we got a couple canopies,
Yeah.
but, yeah, we want to drive people crazy with the smell. That's the
Well,
thing.
My thinking is we're gonna have every bear in the Lee area come to the house.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
You make good bear bait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. that
What
could
do you
happen.
think, Greg? You ready for this challenge?
Oh, I'm up for, I think it's gonna be a blast. I think the people, I think what the reason for doing it.
Yeah.
I think anything we can do to help is gonna be just icing on the cake.
And if
So,
you
Greg-
guys have some ideas too about other stuff, feel free to chime in because.
Well, Greg is an excellent author and he can write stuff in our Sportsman Alliance of Maine
there you go.
newspaper about this stuff. He's an excellent writer.
We're gonna, yeah, if it's all right, Paul, what we'd like to do is just take some pictures that we'll share with you guys. We can have, you know, if there's somebody around taking pictures, we'd like to, you know, have access to some of them and be able to write an article that can go out. And I know Angie's got different areas where she likes to send articles and you know,
Sure.
just to keep it out in the news, because the more we can do for the veterans and having some pieces where veterans can write about it as well, or just comment on it.
Yeah.
You know, really a great way to keep their name out there and just to kind of, you know, let people know that, you know, we're not just saying we're going to do something, we're doing something.
Right.
As opposed to a lot of people say, yeah, I like to honor veterans and do this, that, and the other thing. And really the easiest thing in the world is to give money. The hardest thing in the world is put on an event.
That's
And
right.
really do that, and your time and effort, if we can get something good to show for it, which it sounds like you'll have something awesome, that's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. Yep. No, you're right. It's spreading the word and let people know what we're trying to do. And yeah, that's the key.
'Cause one of the things
That's a big thing for this year. Is last year we spent so much time connecting and we'll continue doing just as much this year. But another big focus this year is, you know, not only bullseyeing Maine as, you know, a main point of focus, but going national, like doing more press releases, finding those contacts across the country to showcase what we're doing, because not only are we a great resource for people to apply and to come to, but we're also great examples of what's possible. You know, you have organizations all over the country that are trying to help people, and some are very, very small, and they're just as important. You know, the one person that they help is just as important as the 10 or the 20 you might at a bigger event. But we found very, very much so just in this last year, how many people have reached out to us and said, we want to do what you're doing. How are you doing it? You know how are you getting the visibility you are? And it's showing what you're doing. It's great to do it, and the people you're affecting is the number one thing. But if you can show people what you're doing, you're inspiring people, you're giving an opportunity to collaborate and help them do a similar thing. So my focus really is try to give more visibility, you know, to it across the country, and just making more connections that way. So
I agree, and you know, some of the biggest impacts you have, you'll never know.
mhm,
Because,
exactly.
The suicide stuff, you know,
Yeah.
one event, one person comes to that event, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 or however many, all of a sudden they say, you know, they do care. As opposed to some of these other folks, you know, so you'll never even know that, but you do have an impact on that. And that's awesome, you know, really, when you think about it. So
Mhm.
anyway, I think that this is gonna be a great event.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
we
excited.
appreciate you guys so much. We can't express enough how much we appreciate you.
Well, and that's what I think is unique is like Greg, you and Brent and others that come forward and help the mission it's like you guys are doing at Sam's already. You're starting.
I was gonna say, we want to highlight you guys too,
Yeah, and
yes.
highlight what you guys do, and it's not just about us, it's about helping veterans, period. And if we can help each other and expand what we're doing and help more veterans, that's what it's about. It's a team effort. And we feel blessed that we have so many good people that are willing to step up and help what we're all trying to do.
I
And
think
just
you know,
magnify it.
one of the things that I've thought of is, and Brent and I, that there's so many different organizations out there, and every one of them are trying to get their niche, you know, and do what they want to do and how they want to do it. And Brent and I have talked a lot about focusing and emphasizing on the family from a Sportsman's Alliance of Maine perspective. And, you know, with you guys and the Gold Star families and the White Star families, or Silver Star, I can't remember what it is, but those are parents or families of veterans that have committed suicide. And those are the things that we really want to focus on, is the impact that, you know, that we can make on the family. So, you know, having a storyteller come in and just have the family there and hiking and sleigh rides and all that stuff. You know, the hunting is a great way to have veterans come in and learn how to do things and have that camaraderie. But if we can get that family involved, then they all kind of come together as a unit. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of lives, and not just veterans. I mean, that's just the family unit throughout is just, so what you guys are doing, Paul, is amazing. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, well, you know, got to help each other, right? And do the right thing. And like you said, a lot of people talk about wanting to help, but very few people actually step up to the plate. And I always tell people, you know, God called me to do this back in 07 when we went to the memorial at Fort Hood. You know, if I shared this with you, but we walked in that chapel at Fort Hood, including our son. We looked down, counted the pictures. There were 19 men killed that month in the CAV unit. So there's 19 of us families sitting in this chapel. And it's one of those experiences that you can't even begin to describe the atmosphere. But through all that, the next days, God called me to do it. And I teared right up. And it's been such a passion since that day. And it, you know, because I feel I'm an ambassador for this work. It's God's work. And I've always felt that way. And the passion and my son has driven me to do what we do today. And I've always wanted to share that passion. And it's happening, but it's not me per se. I'm just doing what God wants me to do. I have a high school education. I was just a logger part of my life and a guide. Pretty simple, pretty basic. So that shows you right there that God can use anybody. So that's how I feel. I feel very humbled to do this. I don't feel I'm anybody special. It's God's work. And that's what I've been trying to transmit to people for all these years. And it is happening, but it's God that's doing the transmitting. I'm just obeying him. That's it. That's how I look at the whole thing that we're doing. So
It's
That's
amazing.
amazing, Paul. Absolutely amazing.
so
And you're doing it. So this event, your anniversary, the 5th anniversary, just wait till you have the 50th anniversary. It'll
well,
be,
I won't be here.
you'll still be here, young man. You
So-
just don't know it.
Paul is actually grooming his grandson to follow in his footsteps.
Nice.
He loves the outdoors like Paul, and
does.
I haven't had a chance to meet him yet, but I sure have heard about him.
Oh, you haven't? Oh boy, you're in for a treat. No, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And trust me, if you say, Joel, you're coming with me to hunt on my property, he'll stick to you like super glue.
Excellent.
So yeah, so we're excited. This is it's good stuff. It's good to, you know, just having other people like you two guys stepping up. It's encouraging for all of us. It really is. Because you don't see that all the time. You just
Well,
don't see it in the world.
I think also kind of speaking to what Greg was saying, that they really focus on the family. I like, and we talk about it a lot. It's like nonprofits get like mission creep, where you find yourself drug into all sorts of different angles and different avenues and whatever, and you kind of get away from your core mission. Paul works very hard to for us to stay focused on our core mission. You want to help everybody in every situation, all everywhere. But the reality is, by focusing on, you know, what your core mission is and what your skills are, you can help so many more. But then there's that collaborative effort. There are a lot of people that come forward and say, we'd really like to do something with the family. You know, maybe we should start directing them more. You know, you brought up a good point. It's having those, we're trying to build a resource list of, oh, you want to do something with family, reach out to Sam's. You want to do something with blah, 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 whatever it is that we're not doing, reach out to this group. You know, instead of having a continual list of, let's try to help these people in some way, better being able to connect them with not only other organizations, but it's good quality organizations. There's a million organizations out there, but I couldn't in good faith send them to some of them, because you can't just pick a place and say, oh, call this place, because you want to know that they're in good hands as well. So we're growing that as well. So it's good that I'm excited about that too, because it's just nice. Everybody has, you know, their particular avenue. It doesn't mean you can't spread out, but it's so much more valuable when you can just link arms with other organizations and everybody helps support each other.
So right now, we've got January, we just lost a member of our group, our veteran committee group. So we're going to a celebration of life for him this month. In February, we're trying to put together some type of celebration of life for him in the form of an ice fishing event at the Sportsman's Alliance of Maine, where people can bring their families and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So April, we've got the auction, the auction
Yeah.
we're going to be doing with you guys. So in March, there's a hunt or something that Brent and I might be going on, I'm not sure. But in April, so April's our coming out party for what you guys can see the menu, take a look at it, and we can adjust accordingly as we go forward for the big event on July. So the dress up event in April will give you an idea and give us an idea too as to how we're going to do it. It's going to be a little bit different because the auction, now Brent, we talked about for the auction, cooking the meal and bringing it there and serving at 16:30 a little bit, but we can adjust that too after you and I talk and get more information on what's going on for the auction, because the auction is going to be a sit down. There's people that's going to be in an area bidding on art and different things, correct? At the auction.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll be per table. We'll be inviting people per table. Yeah.
So that's going to be a little bit of a different venue, if you will, as opposed to the anniversary, which is going to be more of a buffet. So we just ought to sit down and talk about how we want to get everything there so that it's hot and ready to go at a certain time frame, at 16:30 or whatever.
So here's a question. Could we schedule a follow-up meeting to this? Like say after our sturgeon spearing thing, like maybe like the 23rd of February. It's like a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just to kind of just stay in front of it and talk more about it, because it'll give us some time to stew on it and be like, oh, what about this or that, or you know.
Right.
And
Well,
then each month we'll have a better idea. By then we'll know what the schedule is for the most part.
because Greg's never been to House in the Woods, and we talked about taking a ride up and meeting with Paul and you know, then we can better look at the kitchen. So I vaguely remember it, but I need to really see what can we make for magic happen in that kitchen, you know?
I did mention to Greg also that I invited you guys to a connection weekend, the first weekend of March, where we're going to just do some stuff around the lodge. Saturday, we're going to go ice fishing all day. Sunday, we're going to have somebody come in and talk turkey talk and build decoys and do some stuff like that. But just a way for you guys to just experience staying at the lodge and kind of in a group setting. But just also just take time to have a you have a good time. So Brent, you'll see that in your email, and Greg, I'll send it to your other email.
Yep.
Well, Reggie Reed, that's gonna teach show you how to make a box call or whatever. We might do something different, but he can take the old ink pens, take the ink pad out, and he can make it sound just like a turkey. He's incredible. It's
Nice.
unreal what he can do. He used the turkey wings. He makes his own. He's basically a professional turkey caller. He's been in competition. Great guy, and yeah, he's
Have you ever heard that guy? There was a gentleman by the name of Drysdale. I can't remember his first name. I want to say Don, but I don't think it's Don Drysdale because he was the pitcher, but
right.
he's a coyote caller.
Oh,
And
really?
that guy is amazing as well.
Yeah.
He can do with his voice is
Wow.
incredible.
Yeah.
All right, if you
That's
guys
okay.
want to keep talking, you can. I gotta step away for a minute. When you guys are talking, just exit however you want to, Paul, and then I'll call you back in a little bit. So,
Okay, sounds good.
so I just gotta leave it open because I can't close it or you can't keep talking. So thank you very much. I'll send you guys the Zoom. I'll send some follow-up notes just to kind of confirm what we talked about. And then
Okay.
set up that next call for like the 23rd.
Now I can
Okay.
talk. No.
Yeah, feel free, talk all you like now. You'll be like, woo, she's gone. Thank God. Okay, bye.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah, so I think it's great. You guys
Oh.
jumping on board. It's good stuff.
Well, I'll tell you, Paul, it takes a lot of pressure off us to do what we do. We enjoy the cooking aspect of it, but planning an event to have it be successful starts a year ahead of time easily.
Yeah.
And
we-
so
and this-
having you guys working on the event allows Greg and I to just focus on this food,
Yep.
which is an event all in itself.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot to plan for and figure out.
Yes.
And we may be way off on our numbers, but I don't think so. I really don't. Because we're gonna be inviting, like Angie said, the VFWs, the Legions, motorcycle groups that have, one day we had, I think Memorial Day, we had 77 bikes roll in, from Fort Kent to Saco, Maine. So
Nice.
there's motorcycle groups all over. If they know there's a big anniversary and there's nothing going on, they'll show up. Just interest, maybe people from Sam's will come up, some folks you can invite. So there's all kinds of different groups. Like you said, the VA, people in the homes, if we get them up here, and it'd be great for them.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Really.
So, yeah, no, we're excited. That's a big relief for us too with the food.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So,
It's a great challenge. I mean, I like
Yeah.
being challenged with this
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I enjoy that.
and there's, it's like, it's one of those things where it's experimental in a way. You're just adding a few hundred more people to your menu. I mean, to your itinerary. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, our little chemistry set where we have to get the spices and everything just right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
I was telling Paul and Angie, Brent, I've got a pork butt on the grill right now, and I've gone through a whole different recipe, a new recipe I'm trying. I've got my my little baked bean recipe that I'm going to be smoking that here this afternoon. So, we're always playing with stuff to see if we can't come up with a different twist. Yep.
So anything you guys need to buy, spices, whatever, just keep your receipts. We'll reimburse you, or we can pay for it over the phone or however. But if you've got the receipts, that way we'll know if we do something again. We'll know how much food we had, what we did have, didn't have, or what
Yep.
we might need. So this is going to be kind of an experimental, but you guys are pretty good at what you do. So we're
Yep.
also having a trapping course at the lodge this year, a hunter safety course, archery course. We had the Christmas party for 100 people came to our Christmas party. We had Santa Claus there this year. We had a sleigh that we brought in. It's still in the foyer. So we had stringing popcorn, the kids were with their parents. We had the old chains you made, you cut paper strips.
Yeah,
We had kids were doing that. They were cutting snowflakes out. We had hot apple cider, we had hot chocolate, coffee, all this stuff going on at once. We had 100 people show up, and just for the community. So not only we trying to help vets, but we're trying to involve the community in doing things for them. And we have the Lee Win School out here. They're gonna bring like 40 kids sliding on our little hill. They said, we don't have a place. And we said, sure, bring them out. And then another day, they're gonna take them snowshoeing. It's their project, but they're gonna use a field and stuff. So we're trying to, that goes a long way too, is for our vets and in the community. And a lot of people, most everybody has a veteran in their family.
Mhm.
So it all ties in. So we're just trying to do more stuff like that,
that Christmas party you had is what Greg has shared with me. His vision is having families do something simple that has been forgotten.
Yep.
Just getting together, the fellowship,
Yep.
stringing popcorn. That's
Yep.
amazing. I mean, that's definitely right up our alley of what our mission is, to bring families together for things like that.
Yep. And that's what I told Angie. I said, let's make it as old fashioned as possible this year. And we did, just adding the popcorn, the chains, the snow, cutting the snowflakes out. And it's amazing. The kids, they all loved it. The parents loved it. The parents were there doing it. And it's, throw those phones away, just
Exactly.
have fun with your kids. And I had people come up and say, thank you so much for doing this, because there's nothing in this area. And we were going to slide. A few families, they were sliding the first night, but it rained the next day, so we couldn't. But we were going to have sliding out there. We did Angie and I set up the Heroes Walk. We had the whole 1/4 mile lit up with the little candles in a bag.
Yep.
We set those up, and it was pretty amazing. Anyway, the whole thing was. It was just so good to see that families come out and they really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed it.
And that's really what I, as a kid, you as a kid, Brent as a kid, that's what we
Yeah.
remember.
Exactly.
Sliding our butts off, so
Yeah.
freaking cold that you
Yeah.
didn't want to go in the house. You go in and you're blue from the cold, and your
Yeah.
mother gives you a ration of crap. Those
Yeah.
are the things that really make a big difference. And the kids remember it, and they say, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And, you just, those, like you were talking, I was thinking, Brent, we ought to think about Halloween night and having a
Yeah.
little thing over at the land in Sand.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
have a couple storytellers there to tell scary
Yep.
stories, give the kids candy, hot
Yep.
chocolate, all that type of stuff. And just kind of make it an event where it's safe, it's
Yeah.
fun,
That's
it's
right.
memorable, and easy to do. It's so
Yeah,
easy
very
to do
simple.
something.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta go get my meat off the grill, and
Okay. Well, thanks for your time.
yeah, thanks, Paul, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. And Brent, I'm glad to see you find a phone.
Yeah, I know, right? That was interesting this morning, and like I said, it was so funny. I went upstairs on the computer and I emailed her. I said, "Hey, honey, I think you have my phone." And she came home from work because of the snow a little early to work from home. So it worked out good that I got my phone back.
Yeah, that's good.
By the way, your mailbox on your phone is full.
Oh, okay. I got to
So-
dump some messages off that.
You got a bunch you gotta dump off. So
Yeah.
All
we'll
right.
see you guys later, and we'll
Thank
be
you.
in touch.
Okay. Good
All
talking.
right.
to you.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, Paul.
Yep, you too. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Well. they have amazing staff that. Greg is one thing that. Work with staff. Yes, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. That are there. And if you do that, they smile. So, yeah, that's that is a good picture for. stop snowing by 7 o'clock. Mhm. Let me see what it looks like in Portland. No, it's gonna stop to Portland by 7. Where's the radar? Oh, it looks like I'll drive out of it. Oh, yeah. Looks like the other side of,
Yes. Kind of hovering.
yeah, but it looks like all, looks like New York, all the way into Delaware would be fine. Times I get everything loaded. I wouldn't be on the road before 4 o'clock. And then, I was just driving, so I was tired. Trying to find a hotel somewhere. Or I might drive all the way through. Well, honey, of course I'm gonna be careful. I wanna make it down there and hunt. I love bacon, but
I saw that.